Hi.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. Chill.
Yeah, it's been a lot of inside time.
Yeah, it's been raining today, but I'm not gonna lie, I like it because it never rains here.
Yeah, it's been one of the first ones, well, definitely all year because it's only ever been snow. This is the
Yeah.
first rain this year, I
It was
think.
really loud this morning and it's been downpouring all day.
We had some cool lightning yesterday.
Oh yeah, I missed it.
I was taking I was going out to clear the space in the garage for you and stood for a minute in the garage door because there was some of the lightning up above the neighbor's house across the alleyway. It was really cool. It was only sad because the sky was just this blank gray color. So you just kind of saw lightning like bolt through the clouds a little, but it was still fun.
And then the cats were scared or just Luna?
At first. I think Honey was a little confused because I also had my speakers going on down here and she came running down here looking kind of confused.
Is that
and then
you?
anytime the speaker would kind of like hit loud or something, like the kick drum or the drum, like cymbals and stuff. And she was like, wah, wah. So she's kind of jumpy. And then Luna crawled under the couch at first.
Aww.
But I opened the door and we just sort of stood and watched. And there wasn't a ton of like big light or big thunder. So just at the beginning there was a couple good strikes, like one that, rattles you through the core.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Missed it.
Yeah. So that kind of spooked them, but then I don't know, they were back to normal. They liked watching the rain for a while. They opened the door. And they just sat there like,
Yeah.
what the heck is going on?
Cute. I love them.
They are.
Nice. Yeah.
So yeah, Kitty's first lightning.
Well, it doesn't sound like the island has good weather either right now. I'm going over there tomorrow for the weekend and I think Candace said it's like 18, 19, just no rain though. But honestly, yeah, that could change.
Yeah, 18, 19 isn't too bad there.
I got to show you, we're going to a dance and it's something completely different from what I thought it was actually. And it looks really cool.
It's like square dancing.
No. It's just like hippie dancing. It's like you go to meditate and dance.
That's cool.
Yeah. I think they have like hot chocolate or something.
Of course.
Yeah. And then we're going to, stay on the island and
That's
sleep
a
in the
different
van.
island?
Oh, Salt
Or-
Spring. We're
Yeah.
going to Salt Spring.
Right.
Yeah. From Vancouver Island.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that sounds like fun.
Yeah, that'll be
But
cool.
it's too bad because it sounds like it's going to be cold. So I'm like, what the fuck do I pack? What am I going to wear?
Layers.
Yeah, but that's not fun when you're talking about dancing.
I know.
But we'll see.
Yeah, maybe you just dance so much you don't even need your, I don't know, you just dance.
Yeah, who knows? I'll just bring the stuff and see what happens.
Yeah. All we can do.
Mhm.
That'll be fun. How long has it been since you were on the island?
Good question. You would have been with me.
Was it our
Was
visit? No. We didn't. Did we go over there just before we left?
Yeah, we did
Yeah.
go before we left. I don't think we've been.
Yeah, because that was
'cause we
days
didn't
before.
Come back. Yeah, I guess it has been.
We came back from the island and then finished packing the U-Haul and off we went.
Yeah, so I don't think I've been there since then because
Yeah.
when we did go to BC or at least the Lower Mainland last, it was a quick trip. No going over to the island.
No, we were just in Surrey for the most part.
Langley?
Surrey, Langley, right. Sorry, we weren't in Surrey.
No, not at all. Yeah. So it should be good. And it's probably going to be the only time I get to see Candace this year. So I'm excited.
Yeah. So that, you wouldn't have seen her since they came out here.
They
right?
were here.
But not over there.
It was a long time ago still. Like
Yeah.
last summer.
That was just a few months after we moved in.
Yeah.
That's fun. I think of how we've had so many visitors here. That's been cool.
Yeah, we do actually do a lot with people.
Yeah. Like we have friends that are here that come over, or we've gone over to some friends' places, and then we've had friends from back home and family from back home. And then we've flown all around. We've gone everywhere.
Not
I'm
everywhere.
just kidding. We've gone a few places.
Yeah. We got lots to do still.
That's good. That's good to remind myself of. I feel like through the winter, it felt like I was here so much, and I'm feeling really weird and itchy. Like I got to go somewhere.
Yeah.
But then I remind myself of all the things we've gone and done. Like, oh yeah, we're going and doing things. That's all good.
Yeah, I'm sorry you can't come with me. It was kind of a last minute decision, sort of, and it was. I'll tell you the story. It's a pretty funny story, actually. So, a couple weeks ago, Candace just sent me a text saying, "Would you like to come over this weekend?" Dave, her partner, is going away for whatever weekend, so she was going to be alone. But then she sent me a link for flights. And so I was going by that weekend.
Because what
And
dates did the link?
the link said Friday, June 16th.
Yeah.
So I went with that, thinking when she meant this weekend, she meant that weekend. So I was trying to figure out, scrambling, is it possible that I can make it happen? Because it's just 2 weeks notice for work. I've got to pay for a flight and blah, 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 blah. Anyways, got the day off really quick, thankfully. And then booked it off. I hadn't heard from her. And then I called her and was like, hey, I'm coming. She's like, yeah. So we're all excited. I think this was on a Tuesday or something. Tuesday, Wednesday, Tuesday, maybe Monday. I don't know. Sometime early in the week. And then that weekend comes around and she's calling and calling. We're sleeping and she's like, you didn't get off the plane. Like, where are you, all worried and stuff? She called my mom, and I had already talked to my mom as a backup for being picked up or whatever. And my mom told Candace she's coming in 2 weeks, because I guess when she said this weekend, she meant that weekend, literally days away. But I went by the link I had. So we were all totally confused. It was pretty funny. And it's fun. It's even funnier because I sent my itinerary to her after, and it was just so no communication. So she ended up having to have the weekend alone, which is fine. But because months earlier, she had invited me to this dance going on that weekend I booked to go over there. So we're going to that dance.
It's perfect.
So it kind of works out.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny though.
You still picked a good weekend to go. Maybe it'll be more fun because you have the dance to go to, and so you have something to go out and do and kind of lose yourself in, and a little adventure over to another area. Have you been to Salt Spring before?
Yeah, we went over there before.
I have never, so it would have been a new place for me.
Oh, yeah. We sailed over there. This was years ago, but when they had their sailboat, we sailed over there. And we went through this market, went to this pub, and we just slept on the boat in the harbor, kind of.
Yeah.
So.
That's cool.
Yeah. But we didn't do a whole lot there. I don't really remember much on Salt Spring. Actually, I wonder if okay. Now that I think of it, I wonder if it was, I don't know. We had sailed somewhere else in this bay or whatever and stayed there too. I wasn't sure if that was around Salt Spring, because there was one area where we stopped, went onto the beach, walked forever. I got the worst tan because I was wearing the wrong stuff, and then we got a fun bus back. I don't know if that was I don't know. Can't remember. I'll have to ask her.
One of them islands.
Yeah.
That's fun. There's a lot of them in there.
It starts with an M. M something Bay.
Yeah. I don't know that one.
But anyway.
Yeah, that's good fun. We used to, when I was, what was it? Elementary school, I guess. Elementary, early middle school. We had a boat, and it was a 19-foot little bayliner of some kind. It was kind of like a speedboat, but it was just big enough that my dad was ballsy enough to take it out in the ocean, just within the islands in the San Juan there, because it's relatively calm most of the time. But we would do great. We would hit the wake from the Alaska Ferry, because that thing would come in and out of the Bellingham Harbor there. Oh my God. The whole boat would launch out of the water and then just slam down. And I remember thinking we were going to shatter the hull. Like, like this is how I die. I would, like the hull is going to shatter. The boat's going to sink. And I'm going to be like swimming out here with all the sharks and
Okay.
la.
Was your mom with?
Sometimes.
Because I feel like she would be out loud saying stuff like that.
Yeah.
Stop it, you're going to kill us.
But it would be worse though if you weren't. Like there were times when we would be sitting still or we'd try some fishing. And then if you weren't moving in that hit, like then you thought the whole boat was going to flip over.
Right.
So it was kind of like, this is honestly the better option. And my dad would try to take it at angles or hit it at the, like we eventually learned the speeds where it wasn't so bad, but there would be a couple times where it's just a little mistimed, you know? So you would more hit that second wave right on top and it would be really harsh. And you're just like, whoa.
So this is, just add this to the list of the only thing that dads do.
Yeah.
Because that's when I think about my dad, because we had a Bayliner at one point for a couple years or whatever.
Fun.
When we were in high school. And we had this long banana boat tube thing, pull behind.
But it's like a banana?
It was shaped as a banana. So you sat on top and you could fit like 5 or 6 people.
Yeah.
And of course, you're only supposed to go 15
kilometers. Yeah.
And no, that didn't happen. I remember having my nose piercing and like we fell off, of course, because that was the goal of the dad. Yep. Whoever was the dad driving. And but I remember falling off and getting a bloody nose because getting scratched by my nose ring because I slammed into someone else.
Oh man.
As we were falling down.
Yeah. That's the worst.
That was fun for a while, though. But I mean, like, it's nice having a boat on the lakes when you're so close to a lake. I think our truck and trailer got stolen. I'm so surprised. Like, our house was bad luck for people stealing.
Yeah. We're so close to the lake.
Yeah.
But it is a bit out of the way, too. I don't know. Maybe that's what makes it easy because it's like kind of out of the way and there's no one else really around to see anything. So just snag something. Anyway. I don't know. We did that in high school too. We didn't have a boat, but I had a friend who had a boat and they had 2 tubes, like 2 inner tubes that you would tie behind them. Except one was like a big 2-3-person tube and the other one said it was a 1-person tube, but one person could barely fit on it.
Oh,
like this was the world's tiniest little tube.
Scary.
But we would have battle tubes.
No.
And my friend, same thing, would whip us back and forth, right? So it'd be going straight, or he'd do this terrible diabolic thing where he'd like, spin in a circle in one place for a while and then do a big loop out and then figure 8 back. So you had generated this big like whirlpool of wake and then out from it. And then he would whip you back through that.
Your dad did that?
No, this was my friend.
Oh, your friend did that?
Yeah. We were all high school age. We're the same age.
I'm so sorry.
We're 16, 17 years old out in a boat.
That's scary. That's so dangerous too.
But you would get whipped up. And so then in the air is when you would try to kick and like flip the other person off of the tubes.
Oh my God, you idiots.
Yeah,
seriously. I'm so glad I never hung out with you.
Yeah, well, you're sneaking beers from Dad's cooler.
Oh my God.
But yeah, that was funny. I remember being on that tiny tube once though. And there was this kid he was in the grade above me, and he was a bit of a bigger kid, played like defense on football and a bunch of other sports. So he's like this really, like big athletic guy. Can't remember his name, but I was terrified because we're getting on there. I'm on the tiny tube. He's in the big 2-person tube, right? And he's a bigger guy. And I'm like, I look like, whatchamacallit? I look like DK in Mario Kart. That's how I felt. Like, he's like out of all the carts. Yeah. I felt like that. And of course he's looking at he's like, I'm gonna flip you out of there so fast, and I'm just like, shit. And my friend whose boat it was would drive like a madman. Like we'd be going 50 kilometers or something.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes in this most insane, we'd be like, dude, like a little less. Like it's not fun anymore.
Stop. It's so scary.
But when he was whipping you around like that, he wasn't going that fast. But still, like the momentum would carry.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
The point is, we're battling for a while, and I'm kind of holding my own. There's a few times I almost flip, but so when you're going fast enough, you can kind of like stick your leg out and like water ski a little and like dump yourself back.
No.
Okay. Well, you can kind of like stick your foot out and like if you hold it at the right angle, you can kind of push off the top of the water a little and put yourself back. So if you get kicked a couple ways, you're like, whoa. Anyhow, one of these times we go out and then we're kind of like when he's whipping you around one direction together, you're kind of stuck together, right? And you can't do much because you're both kind of holding onto your tube. Like, so I'm up against him, but when you come back, so what happened was somehow I caught the momentum and flung across the wake, but he didn't quite get the momentum. So he didn't fly all the way over. So we're kind of separated, right? But now we're like those, those balls that drop and
bang against each other. It's just
we're just waiting for that moment where we're gonna get slammed together. But we go flying, and for some reason he starts coming at me, but what I see is he's coming fast, so he hits the wake, and the bottom of the tube is like up at my head level or something. But what I see is, I could time this perfect. And I could just kick my foot out and hit the tube and flip it away from me and just dunked him.
Oh my God.
Because he was like flying over me.
That's
almost.
Smart though. Like that is
It was such a last minute, like, because he was just coming so fast. Suddenly I'm like, he's going to catch air. Like he's not going to hit me. He's going to fly up over me.
You're smart.
It was funny.
Was he okay?
He was pissed. Yeah, he was fine. No one was injured that day. I will say that. We weren't injured that time.
Yeah, no, when it comes to tubing, being pulled behind the boat at any time, the two things I'm most afraid of is hurting myself in any way.
Yeah.
And falling off, because I don't want to be in the middle of, I don't care what kind of body of water it is, there's fucking shit down there.
Yep.
So I'm scared.
I didn't like that part either. But thankfully I was mostly over my fear of bull sharks. But that lake I think it was still connected. I think it's connected to the ocean. But I don't remember.
How does that
Thankfully, there's not really bull sharks up in that area. So you're okay.
You know what?
But I was still terrified of it.
Have imagination.
Yeah.
Wild.
Well, did I tell you the first time I saw Jaws, we were actually in Hawaii, and I'm in like grade 4, grade 5.
Oh.
Maybe less. And that's the first, like we're in this hotel and it's on TV and my parents let it just go. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? We're
surprised
in Hawaii.
by that, actually. So okay, then I have to ask, I guess I should ask just Aline, like, what is it that you could and couldn't watch when it came to violence? Animal attacks are natural, and so that's okay. You should learn.
Well, I think we were really into Shark Week by that point.
Okay.
So I guess maybe in her mind, since we had been watching Shark Week, where you're just watching sharks destroy other animals and maybe some people, she was like, well, like, that's all this movie's about, what they've been watching on Discovery Channel.
And
I don't
honestly,
know. I don't know what made her draw the line.
It's also educational, except when it's an actual movie.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe watching it as an adult now and seeing also how cheap that shark can look at times.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so you're like, well, it's kind of crappy looking, but when you're a kid, it looks so real.
I have a question for you then. Did you ever go to Hollywood Universal?
Mm-hmm.
And
we went to the one in Florida.
Okay. They must have something similar though. So Hollywood Universal has like a tour you can go on, and you're in a cart, you know, where someone's taking you on a tour, and you go across a bridge. And we did this in 2004, and they have like a shark come up off the side in the water.
Yeah.
When you're going across the bridge.
That's scary.
It was.
I don't like it.
It was, but it was also cool.
I think they had a boat one in Universal. I remember something that was similar to the what was the Jungle Cruise one we went on in?
The Jungle Cruise, yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay, it is. It was similar to that, but I think it was more Jaws themed, and it was, I don't know, more oceany.
Sharks are fucking scary, man.
Yeah, they're terrifying. Did you see that video of a kayaker who was out fishing?
Yeah.
And the tiger shark almost like came up and tried to bite the kayak.
Lots of that, yeah.
Ugh, terrifying.
Like, who the hell is going out there kayaking?
You know, I remember, so we did a kayaking trip in the Broken Islands, which is off on the, what would you call that? The west side of Vancouver Island, near Ucluelet, which is just south of Tofino.
All right, which I haven't been to either of those places.
Yeah. But I guess for people listening, Tofino is the most, popular known place over there. But this is a bit south of it. And then there's this bay
for surfing.
in Ucluelet. No, for kayaking.
No,
it's called-
Tofino's for surf.
Oh yeah, sorry, Tofino. But there's this bay, and there's this big group of islands out in it. You paddle like an hour out from the bay in Ucluelet, and you can get in this little chain of islands called the Broken Islands. It's really fun. But the whole time we're paddling over there, that's all I was thinking about. It was like orcas and sharks.
Yeah.
Because we're out. It was my first time like being out in the ocean in a kayak. We had done some stuff like around the bay or just sort of around the beach in the ocean, but never like we're paddling for an hour and it's just water.
Scary.
And then to the
Scary.
left, it's like open ocean. I remember looking out because, you know, that channel just looks straight out to the whole wide Pacific and thinking there's nothing from here to Japan. Like,
that's a fear
that's
of mine.
all there is right there.
Open water is a fucking fear. Deep water where I can't touch. Going underwater with my eyes closed is a fear.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I was a fish before, and then fear came into play, and now I'm fucking scared.
Yeah. It's terrifying.
I love going out on a boat, but still, I'd rather not jump in the middle
yeah.
of the water at any point.
When I feel good in bigger boats, like we went tuna fishing out from San Diego, and it was like an overnight powerboat ride out. So we like slept all night, but at least when we woke up and where we were fishing, we were out by islands. What's the main one there? San Clemente. It's like a big island off of the coast there. So you felt like you weren't just out in open ocean because, oh, look, there's a bunch of land right here. But
it's still scary.
Totally.
I think it's the deepness and what I can't see. I was just going to say, though, have you ever done sturgeon fishing?
No, haven't done sturgeon. In the river?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Fraser River. So one of my jobs, a coworker he has a boat and he would take people out on for sturgeon fishing.
Yeah, it's a popular thing.
It was really cool I think we did it twice actually. At least once. Where Megan, Trina, Uncle Al, and I went out with Walt. Walt was our coworker that did that, and it was like $50 each maybe or something, and like we brought Baileys and coffee, and we had lunch, and I don't think I have the picture anymore. Actually, I might have it under my Facebook downloads, but I did catch a tiny like a teeny little sturgeon.
She's holding her fingers up like 8 inches or less.
I don't know. I remember it being really small. I'll have to find that photo.
That's funny.
But it was a lot of fun, and it was like a whole day thing, and it was really cool. I like doing that. And it. At one time we did pull a big one out.
Oh yeah, because they get like
7 feet or something.
Yeah. Real big.
Yeah. At one point we did find a big one, and there was a picture taken, and he's got a bunch of pictures like on his wall or whatever, because he had taken other coworkers and stuff out.
Yeah.
It was really cool. That was something I wish we could have done more.
Those sturgeon look like dinosaurs.
They are.
Yeah. But they're they're just a very dinosaur looking fish.
Yeah.
Almost alligator like.
Heavy.
Or crocodile. No, alligators have the long nose, right?
I don't know.
I'm talking about the ones with a long nose.
Whatever.
I think it's alligator. Yeah. That tuna fishing was fun too. I didn't catch anything, but I was having a ton of fun photographing everyone who was catching it and just photographing the scenery in general.
Yeah, you're going to share these photos now.
Yeah. And there's
They're really
I'll link
good.
to a blog post. I shared a bunch in a blog post once
Yeah.
too. Yeah, it was fun. I was pretty much just drinking beers all day and shooting cameras.
Do you like fishing?
Yeah. I would say I'm not the kind who's really going to initiate a fishing trip, but if someone invites me to go fishing, hell yeah. I have a great time.
You're good for
I know
that
how to
with
do
anything.
most fishing things. I don't like cleaning them too much. I kind of gag at first when the stomach spills out and everything, but after that, it's okay.
I feel like the only time that I'd ever be okay with actually gutting an animal is taking apart a fish.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be okay with that.
It's mostly once the stomachy intestine bit is out, then I'm okay. There's something about that first cut and clearing away that first bit of stuff that really grosses me out. And after that, it's like, okay, whatever.
Although,
I can do stuff from here, but
yeah. Does it smell?
Sometimes. Depends on the fish, what it ate, how healthy it is.
Although, so I've never really thought of fish, and this is sad, I guess, as I don't want to say as an animal, but not really a pet. They're kind of dumb. They're not like my favorite, and I don't want to offend anybody because I don't care about fish. But I will say though, besides just like gutting a fish, because I think that's a primal thing that would be cool to do, and I think out of all the animals, it would be the only animal I feel comfortable actually doing and eating after. But I saw an Instagram reel where somebody must have been cleaning a tank or something, but they had their tank of, I call them kung fu fish. What are the kung fu fish? They're the like the fighting fish. Kung fu fish.
No, I don't know, to be honest. That's hilarious.
But there were more in one tank, and anyways, putting the person put a tube from that tank to a pool, kiddie pool, and it was really, really long. And then they sucked that fish up through the tube and let it like flow through the tube like a winding tube roller coaster kind of for this fish, but he was going backwards. If he was going forward, I probably wouldn't have felt as bad, but he was going backwards, and I thought, oh my God, this poor fucking fish is going to puke. Like, can fish puke? Because this looks so terrifying, and it was so far.
Yeah, that's hysterical. That's the only time I felt bad about fish. Well, this poor guy, you going to puke? Never mind, he picks him up. Fuck, that's funny.
It was just dumped into the kiddie pool, all fine with all his buddies. Other people were there before him.
I was just having flashbacks to the guy who, so on that tuna fishing charter, because tuna are big, like it's 50, 60 pound fish at times, right? Maybe even more. So it's a big fight. And the boat we were on was pretty big, right? Because I think it could sleep like 20 people or something, right? And like you're taking 20 people out in the ocean for a multi-day, or at least overnight and back over another night, right? So you could be stocked with supplies and house that many people and all their stuff.
Yeah.
And the fish they catch. So it was a good sized boat. So it was pretty high up off the water. And the only way that he could get the tuna up from there was he had this big gaff pole, which is a big stick it's got a pointy spear top out of it and then a pointy hook on the side. And it's just this really long stick with spears on the end. So this guy would go out, you'd catch the fish and reel it in super close to the boat, and then he would whang that gaff stick around or poke the tuna or something, and you'd have to like pull them up with the stick, not so much with your fishing line.
Didn't you say that you guys he had cut one of the tunas open literally right there, and you had a sample?
Later, yeah.
Sometimes it's still fresh, straight pulled out of the ocean.
But just to finish that thought, it would be brutal because like the fish would be all bloody, and then he'd pull it up onto the deck, which is all white painted on the deck. I don't know why they chose that, and it's flopping around, blood everywhere. So like the whole boat's just covered in blood. It looks like a John Wick scene, right?
I think people would. There must be something about fishermen that like to see that.
Yeah, but yeah, I know. I remember thinking the same thing though. You're like just caught up in the barbarianism of like, we just caught a fish, like.
Rip it apart.
Yeah, but anyways, they since my cousin who caught one of the tuna lived just up the road in LA, like they flash freeze everything when it comes in. So they have a flash freezer on there. So they get it nice and cold. But the guy offered, hey, if you just want to take your fish with you right now, like we'll just process it right here on the end of the boat. Like we'll just gut it, pull everything, cut it into all the different cuts, like the toro and the steak and everything. And so that's what we had fresh on there. He cut a piece of the toro, which is sort of near the dorsal fins, or not the dorsal fins. What do they breathe through?
Gills.
The gills. Yeah, it's sort of like the gill, behind the gill there. It's supposed to be the like best part of the tuna. So he cut some fresh pieces of that, put them in a little plate with some soy sauce. And it was delicious.
Oh my fuck. Like that sounds
Just-
amazing.
Yeah.
I really love sashimi.
It was some of the best fish I've ever tasted.
And poke.
Yeah, it just dissolved. And because you're eating it out there in the middle of the rolling ocean at night, the California heat. Oh, it was good. It's a fun trip. Fishing's fun. Somebody invite me to your fishing adventures, because
We're not in the right place. You're going to have to ask someone to take you hunting or dirt biking.
yeah, we can go hunt. I haven't done a lot of hunting. Did duck hunting in high school.
No.
They're delicious.
Ducks need to be cooked properly or they're
Yeah.
tough.
And the wild ones aren't the best, actually, because they're not as fat. So the meat's kind of dry and lean. And then if you shot it with really fine birdshot, you often find your BBs in it, like I did. You go to take a bite and there's this little metal.
Oh, nasty.
I'm like, oops. That's from the shotgun.
Nasty.
That's why you should only use steel. Don't use lead. Also in Washington, it was illegal to use lead. So use steel so you don't lead yourself.
Lead poisoning. That's why we don't stab each other with pencils. Do pencils
graphene.
exist anymore?
I don't think any have lead.
Or was it pens?
Pencils used to have lead.
Okay, that's what I mean then.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that I grew up in school much longer ago. That's what I thought about when I thought about lead poisoning was a pencil.
Yeah. Apparently the Romans used lead for all of their plumbing.
Huh?
Like a lot of the plumbing, the aqueducts and like their pipes and tubes to move water around for people to like bathe in or drink from and stuff was lead. So they all
Cool.
slowly went insane because they were like lead poisoning themselves.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, you don't know what you don't know,
Right?
honestly.
In one version of it, the story, I was told that like, the city and the people even knew that it wasn't good for them, but they were just too cheap or something and did it anyway.
Well, I'm not going to lie. Does that sound strange to you today?
No, I
'Cause-
was going to say, like, there's something about that just makes me think of, this sounds familiar.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's funny.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know. But with that being said, I do want to find more, I don't know, natural ways of living and sustaining myself. Just on that idea of like fishing or growing foods or
Of course.
just having a better
Well,
understanding of where the food's from and what makes food better for your body. You know, aside from just selection, like what makes a tomato better for you? What makes a cut of beef better for you? Or
that's all pretty easy stuff to find out, though.
But it can just be expensive here in North America. And I know there are less expensive ways, or you just pay the expense but eat less things.
Mm.
I
We
don't
just have to figure out how we can.
I think growing my own vegetables would be the best start.
And honestly, there's only a handful of things that we have on hand all the time
Mhm.
that easiest things to grow, like lettuce
Mhm.
and tomato.
Yeah.
So, but we're also in the process of building our greenhouse boxes. So next year probably we'll have better. But our tomato plant is growing every single day. I look at it.
Plants. There's two.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna call it just one. It's all in one pot, but they are bigger every single day.
Yeah.
Every single day I look and I'm like, I think we should have planted it in the ground because I feel like it's so big that is it going to be okay in that? We have a big barrel pot, but it's so big.
Yeah. It's doing so good. It's got a bunch of flowers all over it.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't see very many flowers, but I was seeing some growth of tomatoes.
Yeah. You found a little one the other day.
Yeah. He's probably a bit bigger now.
Yeah. I'm excited for those. The tomatoes are always my favorite thing.
I do love tomatoes.
And I love having our fresh herbs on hand because
Yeah,
it just makes everything
oh my
that much
gosh.
more fragrant.
Yeah. Our thyme, mint, and rosemary are excelling. Like they're doing so good.
Yeah,
We
they're
need to
really.
actually use them.
I know.
So they have more space to grow because
Gotta get that
they're
pork
getting too
loin.
high. Well,
Yeah.
the mint is invasive, so it's going to take over everything. It seems like this is our second year of growing thyme, and I think thyme actually is invasive as well. So our bad for putting them in the exact same pot because they're going to take over each other.
The basil's going gangbusters too. Even
What
though
if
we
we
haven't
had
repotted
like
them.
mime?
Like what?
We had mime,
Which one's mime?
a mixture of mint and thyme.
Oh, I see.
We have mime. Oh, we have tint. Tint?
Sorry, but mime. It reminded me of this Instagram reel I saw where this mime was pretending to wash a guy's windshield in traffic. And then the guy rolls down the window and the mime comes over expecting money and he just like drops invisible coins,
no.
like, and the look of disappointment on the mime's
They got, oh man.
I'm sorry, but like you had to know that's gonna come on. Like, come on, guy.
Totally.
That someone's gonna do that. You know it. You know it.
And it's probably not the first time.
No. Like you need to actually wash the windshield, man. That's too funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you got anything else, sir?
Nope.
Cool, me neither. It's been a good chat. I think we mostly chatted about food and fishing.
How long has it been?
That's kind of interesting. I never would have thought we'd have an episode about food and
No,
fishing.
because we had a whole other plan in place. But what
Not
time are we at right now?
Oh, we're at almost 40 minutes.
All right.
So.
Well, then let's throw this in here. Let's just do one game.
Okay.
We're going to do a conversation game.
You pick the game.
Would you rather?
Okay. Yeah,
I'll
you're
go
starting.
first. Okay. Would you rather go into the past to meet your ancestors or go to the future to see whatever kin you have? Because I know you're not having kids. So kin, I mean like when your brother has kids or when my family's kids.
What happens to the family line? The past. 100%.
Yeah. So why?
Because, what's that saying? It's not history repeats itself. It's like a bigger version of that. But the basic gist of it is if you know the past, you can know the future because history is cyclical, right? So the same things happen over and over. But also, I'm fascinated on that personal level of trying to understand how I am who I am because of what all of those who came before me, whose little bits of DNA and history are already in me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what were they actually like? Or even what were those times really like for people? Because we imagine them as tough or hard times, but I think of the 90s when we didn't have the internets and food on demand, and people now would say, oh, it must have been so tough then. And you're like, no, actually, we had a great life.
Well, and the thing is that at any point in time, things are tough. However, when we're looking back where we have less, we because we have more in the future, feel like they must have had it hard. They would have had it hard in the same way we have it hard, but because they didn't know any better, it was normal. You adapt. And that's a great thing about adapting. And that's a good lesson for anybody.
And you couldn't imagine
learn how to adapt.
Yeah, well, and you couldn't even really imagine what the world would be like with those
1,000%.
You know, I'm like someone from 1800 on a steamboat couldn't fathom what it would be like to have a plane or a helicopter that can just fly you over somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, and to them that seems so much easier and simple, but we're griping like, fuck, you gotta go through security, you gotta pay all this money, you gotta sit next to these people in a tiny seat. You know, like we always find the issues in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'd be curious to just see what everyone's attitudes were really like because I wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me think of how, you know, when you hear stories on the news about how some place is terrible, or you know, like even the Winnipeg, right? Everyone's like, you're gonna get stabbed and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, some sketchy parts, but like overall, still a pretty great place. And
You could say the same
met
thing
some cool
about
people
Vancouver or
yeah, you know, I'm like,
Edmonton.
but that's the only thing that gets written down in history, right? And so I just wonder, like, would it really be that bad? I bet people would probably be pretty awesome. And life would just be different. And that would be fun to see and experience.
I always thought it would be kind of cool to.
In the future, I don't know.
That.
I feel like even if you went to the future, you didn't go to the future because some other future could probably happen. So
it's true.
You might as well just dream.
That can just that can change at any time.
Yeah, but the past,
there's
a little bit more, I guess. I feel like I could just learn more from it.
It's solid.
Yeah.
It happened. You can't change it.
Or if you went to the future and then you saw something really awesome and then you had to go back to your present, you're like, fuck, you know, like imagine you're on the steamboat and you get to flash forward, ride an airplane, and then you're back to steamboats all day. And you're like, fuck.
All right, you got a question?
Yeah. Would you rather eat oh man, sorry, I had like a weird combo, but I lost it. I don't know. I'm so bad at this game.
Well, we don't have to play it. I was just throwing it out there.
Okay, good, because I can't really think of anything on the moment.
Boo, you suck. I was lying.
Would you rather not play this game and play something else or end the episode?
Well, no, we're going to end it. Stop. Fine. I tried to extend it. Sorry. It's all good.
Yeah. Well, there you go, people. Think of some would you rathers and send them to us.
Yeah, why not?
And we'll answer them.
Sorry that we only played with one. But
pair of dinks at gmail.
Would you rather listen to nonsense or structured conversation? That's what I would like to know.
All right, there you have it. We look forward to hearing from you and have an awesome day.
Ciao.
Bye.